Like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
While red states aim for Black history lessons, blue states embrace them since 2019. At least 4 reliable Democratic states, Connecticut, Delaware, Maine and Rhode Island, have passed legislation mandating instruction in Black history, in part in response to the murder of George Floyd, according to a database maintained by the research agency Education Commission of the DI states. Connecticut law says that African American, Puerto Rican, and Latino studies must be included in the social studies component of all public curricula. Delaware requires school districts to offer classes in Black history. Maine says that African American studies and the history of genocide must be included in state testing standards. And Rhode Island is ordering schools to include a unit on African history and heritage. In Virginia, governor-appointed state education officials appoint. And in Florida, which already has restrictive laws similar to the ordinance, Arkansas Governor Ron DeSantis skinned a proposed AP African American Studies course, prompting the College Board to change that syllabus to exclude classes on Black Lives Matter. 18 state laws that similarly rewrite what teachers can say about race and the country's race relations history have gone into effect in the past 3 years, according to a tally compiled by The Washington Post. Elsewhere, the introduction of courses focused on Black and Brown lives is exciting for some young students of color. Alana Lilly, a 16-year-old African-American student in Connecticut, quickly enrolled in her state's new history elective last year and was amazed to see a class dedicated to people who look like her. In class, she was startled to learn about the life of Black kings in pre-slavery Africa and how that society's royal traditions influenced European culture, although she always believed it was the other way around. Griffin pointed out in an email that Florida's teachers are already required by law to teach African American history, a requirement reinforced by one of the education laws the governor signed into law last year, called the Stop Woke Act. Committed in the past by other members of the same race, the law states that teachers must discuss the history of African Americans and the contributions of African Americans to American society. In a Black town called Rosewood, the Tampa Bay Times reported. An early 2020s legislation elsewhere followed Floyd's killing and the protests he sparked against systemic racism, King said. The course further examines how Blacks and Latinos attempted to gain genuine citizenship in America and to advance civil rights in their own movements, exploring the cultural, economic, and artistic legacies of Black, Latino, and Puerto Rican Americans. Some of the historical episodes highlighted include the story of La Amistad, a ship that some enslaved Africans successfully seized in 1839 before winning their freedom in the U.S. Supreme Court, and the heroic exploits of the Tuskegee Airmen, an all-Black fighter and bomber group which became one of the most decorated squadrons in the segregated military during World War II. The curriculum was rolled out in 60 high schools last school year and has expanded this year to about 175 of the state's 200 high schools, said Stephen Armstrong, social studies advisor at the Connecticut Department of Education. The program's debut has so far cost more than $1 million in government funding, Parisi said, with some of the money going to train teachers to run the course and some to provide instructional materials for those teachers. I definitely have the diluted version of Black history, and a lot of it was around Black History Month, Hyland said.